Hello BookTube. This is a continuation of the 9th bookcase, and this is the 4th shelf, and it'll be a little quicker than some of the other ones because earlier on I did a book set. I don't know, you wouldn't call it a tour, but I've been doing some of the book sets that are larger separately. They take up a lot of shelf space, and I figured if I did some of them separate, I've done it 3 times I think, it would make it quicker to go through the shelf tours. So here, I'm going to hold them all up at once here. It's the Memoirs of Casanova, the Arthur Machen translation. It's the first English translation of the complete and unabridged Memoirs of Casanova. So here's an example. The Venetian years, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So I almost dropped those. So, like I say, I'll try to link that book set down below. So next we have the Charterhouse of Parma, Stendhal, an older edition. Love the advertising on the back. Books by Heinrich William van Loon. That dates it a little bit, but anyway, so Charterhouse of Parma, 2 volumes in 1. Translated from the French by C.K. Scott Moncrief, Liverite Publishing Corporation, New York, and that would have been 1953. Moncrief is an older translator, obviously. I also have his Marcel Proust translation. Here's a newer translation by Richard Howard of the same work by Stendhal. This is with illustration by Robert Andrew Parker. Charterhouse of Parma, Modern Library, New York, 1999. Let's see if then we move along to this thing. The works of Victor Hugo. No ribbon marker. This is State Street Press, Ann Arbor, 2001, and includes The Hunchback of Notre Dame and Les Miserables. State Street Press was an imprint of the Borders Group Incorporated, which I didn't know. Don't really see who the translators are. I've read both these volumes, but I haven't read them in this volume. I got this to replace ones that are gone. So I think it's a good idea if you get one that has a translator listed. Now here's Les Miserables. Victor Hugo's Les Miserables, illustrated by Lynn Ward, the authorized translation, 5 volumes in 1, Heritage Press. I love Heritage Press books. Usually I'll see them on used book tables everywhere, and how many of them I let go by that I now wish I had. If you see them, at least give them a look. So, let's see, I'd like to get some of the illustrations here. Heritage Press. Speaking of a translation, this is Alexander Dumas, The 3 Musketeers, a new translation by Richard Pevere. Absolutely stunningly beautiful. This volume is just amazing. This is Penguin Classics, an imprint of Penguin Books. And this is cover design by Carolee Bickford Smith. Lettering by David McIntosh, and the illustrations by Vladimir Zimakov. Let me see here. 2006. I think this came out in 2 different sizes. There was a smaller one, and then this one. I may be wrong about that, but beautiful, beautiful book. Then, Alexander Dumas, The Count of Monte Cristo. I always do that. That's why I say quiff dwellings instead of cliff dwellings. So this is when I was younger. This is one of my favorite books. This is Modern Library, New York, 1996. Let me see. No illustrations or anything, obviously, but nice volume. Here's an odd little book. Dust jacket's all dinged up, but I left it on there. It's an introductory study, Emile Zola, an introductory study of his novels by Angus Wilson. Dust jacket's seen better days, but this is New York, William Morrow and Company. And it's from 1952. It's a pretty neat little book. And then I've mentioned Proust. I have not read through all of these. I've started and gotten through the first book, Swan's Way, but I've never made it through the whole thing. It's sort of like a bucket list thing for me. So it's Marcel Proust, Remembrance of Things Past, 2-volume edition. Excuse me, translated by C.K. Scott Moncrief. Yeah, I hear pros and cons on the translation, but it would be fine with me if I got through this translation that I have. So, Swan's Way, Within a Budding Grove, The Guermantes Way, Cities of the Plain, The Captive, The Sweet Cheek Gone, and The Past Recaptured. So these are my old beat-up editions, which I would, sort of a goal someday to get through them. So that was the 4th bookshelf of the 9th bookcase. Thank you, BookTube.